Hey, it's Gladys. On the first Work With Me, I say the point of all this was to take you guys through the real life process of being a civil engineer and owning my own civil engineering firm. And today's episode is no different. I want to introduce you guys to my friend Devyn Arnold. She's the owner of Valkyrie Consulting, whom I do business with, and is a business consultant and a former attorney in Florida. That's just what happens when you're an entrepreneur. You find really good people that help you grow and you hold on to them tightly. So let's engineer something.
Hi, Gladys. So basically the business, it's funny, I just said and I'm about to tell everybody about what my business is, which is to help people stop saying So my business, I have spent the last few years in law, but my business is Valkyrie Consulting. It is established with the single purpose of helping people advocate for themselves, right? So it's a business consulting firm, but I specialize in helping contractors particularly, and people related to the construction space, identify things they can do to improve in their business model. But then individually, I also offer professional coaching services to help people communicate for themselves, right? Now more than ever, communication is a huge factor. And just because we know how to talk to our friends doesn't mean that we know or feel that confident when we're talking in public. At least I know I don't, right? That's something I think everybody kind of struggles with.
That's pretty amazing that you were an advocate and now you're helping people advocate for themselves.
Thank you. I think it's pretty special. Now more than ever, there's something about knowing your rights, right? And by rights, I mean, it's not just the legal stuff, right? It's understanding the skill set that you have, how you can market that skill set, why it's valuable, and then combating your own feelings around the idea of, at least for me, sometimes I would struggle with, why am I in this room, right? It feels like the people I'm working with don't necessarily want me here, but they invited me here. So what's happening? And having that kind of background noise can make it really hard. So yeah, you have to be able to advocate for yourself and say, I'm in this room because you need me here, right? Like I wouldn't be here unless you needed me. And having that kind of confidence, I think, makes a big difference. So thank you. And thank you for having me. I'm excited.
What are some lessons learned that you think that you had while you started your own business?
So the first thing that I think everybody mistakes, when you look at other people's businesses, you immediately assume that they know what they're doing.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. I'm they're doing it right.
But the reality is, no, either they do know what they're doing, right? Because they've had other experiences, or they've been trained in this, or they're stepping into something that might be a little bit more fully formed than your own individual idea, right? There's nothing wrong with admitting that you don't know what you're doing. In fact, I think there's something to be said for being that honest, right? Which is, look, I know the skill set that I offer, and I know what I want my business to be, but I don't know how to do this. And this being, how do I run my business? See it a lot with particularly new businesses that are getting started. There's this gap between what we think we should know as business owners and what we actually know. And I'm raising my hands in different directions because what we actually know is our value. That's the thing that's tangible. That's the thing we're selling. What we know as business owners is not as important, but it becomes much more important down the line when you're trying to get paid, right? So one of the things, and you and I have talked about this, understanding how to monetize your time. That is hard. It's really hard. It's not easy. So to answer, I think I'm trying to answer the question, and I'm not sure if I'm really getting to it. My whole life goal was to be an attorney. So when you met 14-year-old me, she was already very much established. She was 12 years into being like, I'm going to be a lawyer. When you come back to you're establishing a business and you're thinking about it, if you don't have friends who are doing this too, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Mm-hmm. Chances are you're not talking to peers when you go to networking events, because at least for me, the last thing I want to do is give somebody ammo to be like, oh, well, they didn't know this one thing. And I don't care who you are. If you have been in a professional setting, there is always one person that's like, well, how do you not know? And it's like, did you just wake up knowing?